Alright, we're getting ready to depart from South Haven. Allison has her marriage savers on with her floaty antennas, mouse ears. We'll be leaving and heading to St. Joseph today. Well, the forecast said very light winds and 1 foot waves. And we've got 4-footers and 25 knot, 22 knot winds. Lake Michigan is always surprising us. Still moving forward on Lake Michigan, heading to St. Joseph from South Haven. The waves are picking up. Pretty steady 3 and 4 footers, sometimes a little bigger. It's not pleasant, but we're going. Well, it's been about 2.5 hours and we are pounding our way now into the St. Joseph's, Michigan inlet. We made it to the St. Joseph's Lighthouse and we're going to go in. Yeah, this is the St. Joseph's Lighthouse and the entrance to St. Joseph's. And it's pretty rough in this narrow canal. Swells in this inlet are pretty big and throwing us all around because of these break walls on both sides. Look at this little teeny fishing boat up here making its way out, going out. It is actually smoother out there than in this inlet. We made it to St. Joseph City Marina, the West Basin Marina, and we got docked in the wind, which was difficult. We'll go check out town tonight. We're gonna go for a little bike ride on the marina bikes. And marina bikes are kind of like marina free cars. They come with their drawbacks. We rode around and explored St. Joseph's on the bikes and then went to dinner. We're swinging. Look out in front of us. The marina's down there on the other side of that railroad swing bridge. Nice night in this marina here called West Basin Marina in St. Joseph. Had a nice dinner with Robert from his Ranger Tug over here. We keep trying to get out and undo our lines, but then this happens. So we're waiting another minute or two. September 23rd, we're in St. Joseph's. It's pouring rain, but we're going to leave. We need to get to Michigan City before a storm comes in, a bigger storm with wind. So we're going to take off. This storm. Yeah, this St. Joseph's River inlet is really rough, partly because of these cement piers on both sides. These breakwaters, it just bounces like a shaking in a bathtub. But here's the lighthouse at St. Joseph's. So we're going to be leaving. We're heading off. See what it's like out there in this storm. Well, the waves have calmed down a bit, so we sped up to get across the lake here to Michigan City. The rain stopped. It's just sprinkling, and we're getting a little bit of spray from these 1-footers, occasional 2-footers now. A lot better than the 4-foot swells. quite as picturesque here in Michigan City. We got like a cooling tower and a major power plant. But we made it to Michigan City in a stormy day. Washington Park Marina in Michigan City. Self-serve fuel, so we did that. Honk, 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 honk. This is the waterfront area here by the marina at Michigan City, Indiana. It's the main drag here in Michigan City. Kind of dead. We're trying to find the national park. We are walking, so it's going to be a ways to see the dunes. The peaceful, wonderful forest with all the chainsaws. Very
Nature walk.
on a nature walk. You can smell them too. It's wonderful. Indiana Dunes National Park on Allison's bucket list. Let me get a picture. Well, we've walked through the national park area to the Indiana Dunes State Park, which is completely within the Indiana Dunes National Park and surrounded by the national park. Very interesting. We took an Uber to the visitor center, and then we had to walk about 3 miles to get to the state park and the beach. This is the propeller of the ship J.D. Marshall, which sank here 300 yards offshore from the pavilion, right out there, in 1911. Storms are huge.
Yes.
Check out this wave coming up over that.
Look at the size of these waves. It just looks like we're at the ocean.
From Indiana Dunes State Park out on the beach, we could see Chicago. So here at Lake Michigan, at the Visitors Pavilion in Indiana Dunes State Park, within the National Park is the site of a battle from December 5th, 1780 between American and British forces. We'll walk down to the water there. Okay, we're gonna make the walk up Devil's Slide here in the rain. It is raining on us. So, where did the trail lead us to?
The beach.
Oh, is that? There's all the field trip kids on their field trip to the beach in the National and State Park. Yeah, you can see shallows out there. And then the deep demarcation. They probably do have some undertows, that's why it says no swimming allowed.
And fog's rolling.
Fog and rain. And there's Chicago. You can see all the big buildings of Chicago out there on the horizon. Probably hard to see on the video. Going up Devil's Slide. There's Chicago out there in the distance. You can see all the high rises. Hiking by Devil's Slide in Indiana Dunes National Park. Probably technically in the state park right now. There's only 2 state parks that are inside national parks in the country. Indiana Dunes State Park and Redwood State Park in California. So there's your bit of trivia for the day. This is the fun part.
It's the fun part.
So we Ubered, then we had to walk 3 miles down here into the park, and it's raining now, and we have to walk back, figure out a way back. and we don't have a car. We have a boat, but it doesn't do good on the highway. So we are walking. We're still walking in the rain.
This is our Indiana Dunes National Park experience.
Yeah, it's fun.
Once again, it's cold and wet.
It's refreshing. Think of it in positive light. Look, we only have about 3 more miles to go, 2.5 more miles to go down that road. It's pouring down now. I don't know if you can see the rain.
Yeah.
But we got a good tree. We're under a good tree.
Heavy.
We're only halfway soaked. But it's an adventure on the loop every day. This is us hiding under a tree due to the rain at Indiana Dunes State Park, trying to get an Uber. But we are right by the road, so Uber can get us maybe. Yeah, it's raining harder and harder.
Yeah. I am going to listen.
Well, the rain stopped and we got back. We survived getting wet. We did get an Uber after we got soaked, and we are going to stay here one more night because the winds and waves are still a little bit high out there after the storm, and tomorrow morning it's supposed to be good, and we'll head over to Chicago area.